Liftoff will start in T-minus 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have ignition.
It's time! 17 seconds from Game 7 or from championship number 6. Jordan open. Chicago with the lead. Harper got a piece of it. It comes off. The Chicago Bulls have won their 6th NBA championship.
Tying run at second, 2 out. Palmero over the head of Jenks. Uribe charges, throws, out! And the White Sox have won the World Series.
To the far side around the 8-yard line to Hester. Under it and to the middle with the 15 to the 20. Breaks free to the 25 to the 30 to the outside. 40 midfield. 40 30 to the coast. 20 15 Hester 5. Oh! Touchdown!
Toward Bryant. He will glove it toward Rizzo. It's in time. And the Chicago Cubs win the World Series.
What up, what up, what up? Welcome to Shawn and Maya in the morning on this Hump Day edition. I'm your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra. Thanks for tuning in. If you're watching us on Facebook Live, well, then I guess you found us on Facebook. And if you're not following us on Facebook, what are you doing? Go to Facebook, type in Sports Zone Chicago, click the like button. And now you're following Sports Zone Chicago. Simple. But wait, there's more. Go to the show's page. Go to Shawn and Maya in the morning. Like that page as well. So not only are you following Sports Zone Chicago, but you'll be following Shawn and Maya as well. If you're watching us on our YouTube channel, excellent. If you're not subscribed to our YouTube channel, for real? All right, go to YouTube, type in Sports Zone Chicago, click the subscribe button, but also click the notification button. That's the bell. Okay, that's a little bell there that'll let you know anytime a show from Sports Zone Chicago is going live. Get it? Got it? Good. Now, if you're watching us on our mobile app, yay. Wait, come on. Please don't tell me you didn't know we had a mobile app. Come on now. You got to keep up with the Joneses and them. All right, we have a mobile app. So wherever you get your apps from, and it doesn't matter where you get your apps from, but it doesn't matter. Just go there. All right, go there. Do me a favor. Whether it's iTunes, Google Play, Amazon, Walmart, Kmart, 7-Eleven's there, Zemsky, AC, Montgomery Ward, Wolf Venture, wherever you get them from. You go there, you type in Sports Zone Chicago, you download it. You take us with you on the go. So not only do you get Shawn and Maya in the morning 3 days a week, not only do you get our other live shows throughout the week, not only are they archived there like they are on Facebook and YouTube, but I'll tell you what, we give you a slew. And I mean a slew of articles, thanks to my man Clarence, Council the Third. Big up to Clarence for keeping you abreast of all articles Chicago sports related. Now, if you're watching this on our Roku channel, I like that kind of party, baby. Man, listen, if you don't know, you better ask somebody. Sports Zone Chicago, we have our own Roku channel. Yeah, we have our own Roku channel. Yeah, for real. Come on now. So here's what I need you to do. If you have a Roku television in the house, do us this favor. Download Sports Zone Chicago's channel right to your television. Okay? Right to your TV. Okay, put it next to Netflix, Hulu, Max, Prime Video, Disney Plus, Apple Plus, Stars, Showtime, Paramount Plus. Put it right there, smack dab in the middle, and you can watch us on the big screen. Hell, we're on the big screen right, Mickey now. Now you can also tweet the show. Tweet us at Sports Zone Shy. That's CHI at Sports Zone Shy. Now, if you want to follow me, just me. Personally online, you want to know what I did? Well, let me tell you what I did. Want to know what I did? Well, here's what I did. I made it nice and easy for you folks. Nice and easy. One handle for Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, and TikTok. All one handle at the Shawn Sierra. If you want to follow my lovely co-host, Maya Kai, you can follow her on Facebook and Twitter at the Sports Chica. If you want to follow her on Instagram because you're an IG and you do it just for the gram, we'll follow her at Maya_Akai. It's MAYA_AKAI. We have a phenomenal show, but I need you to get interactive. So whatever platform you're watching us on, whether it's Facebook, whether it's YouTube, whether it's our mobile app, do us a favor, leave a question or comment on that platform, and it'll come up here in the thread. I'll put it up on the screen. We'll incorporate it into the show, and that, my people, is in the struggle. That is what makes this the best morning Chicago sports talk show around. And that's you. So bring them all, baby. Questions, comments, smart ass remarks, because ain't nobody scared over here. And like The Rock said, baby, don't sing it. Just bring it. Let's see who we got in the chat. The chat seems to be jumping already. That's what I'm talking about. Cornelius Squalls, what up? Look, my man in the house, Mr. Shode. What is up, baby? Lord have mercy. I can't sit here and chat my new job anymore, but I miss you guys, so I'll at least try to listen. Go Bears. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. Lavette Lee, happy hump day, ma. How you doing? I love it. I love it. My man DC in the Mickey Ficky house. Derek Carter's in the house. Bear down, baby. You know it. You know, and you know this, man. Oh. Listen, I don't know a lot about a lot, but I do know this. More of the usual suspects will chime in as the show goes on. This, I can promise you. Here comes another one to begin with. My man, my Shawn Walls in the house. What up? Happy hump day, Papa. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. Man, we got a good show for you. We got a really good show. I feel like the Ed Sullivan show. We got a really big shoe. Really big. For all the people who know the Ed Sullivan show. Evan Altman is going to join us today about 10:15. He's going to join us talking some Cubs baseball. Spring training is just around the corner. And since the White Sox are going to have another shit season on the South Side, the least I could do is for you Cub fans, at least talk some good baseball. What are you interested in grabbing? There's still a guy out there who I think is going to be a perfect fit for this club. Go get him. Sunday. But what else do the Cubs need? What else do they need? So we're going to talk to Evan Altman about 10:15-ish today. All right. You know, it's here he is. My man Armando Emeterio Lara Jr. What up, Junior? How you doing, Papa? Thanks for tuning in. What, did you just get off the can or something, dude? I had to go to the bathroom right as the show started. Hey, man, you know I love the support, man. I appreciate it. You know, there's a lot going on for being an off week for football. I shouldn't say an off week. You got the Senior Bowl. So you want to hear a funny story. DC, I will get to that in the top of the morning topics. You best believe it, sir. You best believe it. So there's a lot of topics that, you know, that are going around, and I found this is hilarious. So I was thinking about, I was like, all right, well, do I want to go down to the Senior Bowl? Right? Do I want to go down there? I do, but there are a lot of people that I know. I mean, are there a lot of people that I would be cool with to go down there? You know, because if they're carpooling, you know, maybe I'd hop in the carpool, you know, get some gas money, whatever, you know. I'm like, you know, maybe I have to get my own hotel and whatever. And I was like, you know what? No, I said, it was the last minute. And it just kind of crept up on me. You know, some shit just happens like, oh, shit, it's here. So then 2 days ago, I get one of my buddies from high school who's on the text thread. Is he grammar school? No, high school. Yeah. And he was like, hey, man, you should road trip. And it was so funny. And I was like, road trip. He goes, yeah. He goes, I got you on a tailgate and a ticket. I was like, what? And he sends me this picture. I said, I don't even know what I do with my phone. What do you do with your phone? So I can't even upload it because anyway. And it was to the Reese's Senior Bowl tailgate starting at 9:30 on Saturday. I was like, oh snap! It's like, whoa, wait a minute. Where do you live? You live in Mobile? And he's like, yes. I'm like, bro, you just thought about this right now. This is literally like 2 days ago. So you just thought about this right now to tell me you live in Mobile, Alabama. Mexican guy. I'm like, first of all, how long have you been down there? And what the hell took you to Mobile, Alabama? You're on the south side. You're from the south side, dude. He said, after school or a local, smaller college in the area. He said he just, I don't know, kind of searching for life, just running for life, really. He says he was just having a good time running around, and he said he ended up down there somehow, some way. He said he never left. He goes, he loved it. He said the cost of living's better. And I'm like, well, I bet. Got a wife and 4 beautiful kids down there. I'm like, cool, man. He goes, you can stay in my house. He said, and I was like, bro, I said, I doubt I'll make it this year. I was like, but next year, I said, you better save a spot for the SuperBack. I was like, had I known a month ago or more, at least a month ago that you lived in Mobile, Alabama, man, I would have been down there in no time. I'd have got arrangements to take moms to take care of, someone to take care of moms. You know what I mean? I'm like, you can't spring this on me like Monday. So, needless to say, I was annoyed but happy because now I know moving forward. So next year and subsequent years, I have a place to stay when I go down there, and that would be phenomenal. How great would that be? I don't have to. All I have to do is get down there, and if I want to drive down there, man, all I would need is money for food, which I'm sure we'd eat at the house. It would just cost, for all intents and purposes, the gas money to get down there. So I'm excited. Find out that a buddy of mine from high school lives in Mobile. I'm telling you, I was like, you've been following me for over 2 years, and you didn't think, like, it's not the first time that you've heard of the Senior Bowl. Like, he's a sports guy, big time sports guy. I'm like, so the Senior Bowl is in your hometown. Like, you didn't think to let me know? Or direct message me like, hey, are you coming down to the Senior Bowl? I live down here now. It'd be great to see you. I haven't seen you since high school, whatever. And I'm like, all right. Cornelius, your mother's people are from down there? Okay. Okay. I don't know much about him. You talk about the passing game coordinator. You trust I think you meant brain trust. Not our Brian trust. Is it Brian Song? Brian Piccolo? I'm just busting your balls. Busting your balls. It's so funny. I'm just messing with you, dude. You know I am. Sorry, let me get that off. Yeah, it's funny. These Justin Fields haters are getting a lot more bold and braggadocious and annoying. And I can't wait until they make the decision or make the move that reveals their decision. All right. Here's why. Seems like some good head coaching vacancies or head coaching candidates are withdrawing their name. Here's one of them or two of them. This has got to happen. This has got to happen like now, or unless you're waiting it out. The Caleb effect is rearing its ugly head. So the Bears are locked in the first pick. However, there's still questions of what they're going to do with the number one pick. Some people, like I believe, think that they're going to trade it to take the haul. Other people think they're going to use it on Caleb Williams and trade Justin Fields. Well, they better do something quick because these guys were in the running for the Washington Commanders job. And Ben Johnson pulled out. Bobby Slowick decided to stay back as well with the Texans. I think a lot of it has to do with the indecision of the Bears or their refusal to do that, to make a decision or playing it close to the vest. Okay. Had the Bears traded this pick to Washington, okay? Had they traded the pick to Washington, I think one of these guys would have taken the gig at Washington. Washington is still without a head coach. Both of these guys' seasons are over. I think had it been a done deal at this point, I think that either Bobby Slowick or Ben Johnson, I think maybe Slowick, but either one would have taken the head coaching gig at Washington, knowing they were going to draft Caleb Williams and be in charge of their development. It's a shame. It really sucks. Here's why. I really want the Ben Johnson thing. It weakens Detroit. Now him going back to Detroit, now they're firing on all cylinders again. This year. They were good last year. They're going to be good again. They're going to get better. They're going to gel. The rookies are going to contribute. It's going to be a lot easier, a lot smoother for the Lions. Same with Bobby Slowick. All right, CJ Stroud goes into that situation, has a great developer of quarterbacks, Bobby Slowick. And he's back. he is back. Okay, did you see? So it looks like the Bears, looks to DC, that the Bears are surrounding Justin Fields with, not Caleb Williams, with an all-star staff, the first in his career. Or whoever it is an all-star staff. I like it. I do hope it's Fields. And I love what they're doing. I love the insulation that they're providing with Shane Waldron. You're getting a lot of Seattle people here, but also you're getting people who might be able to take over if he needs to bounce. You know, passing game coordinator, which we're going to talk about in a little bit. He interviewed for the OC position here. So it seems like bringing him back is nothing but a positive. Nothing but positive for this franchise. Well, I'm looking forward to, one of the reasons I'm really, really excited, because I truly believe they're keeping Justin. Okay? If they are keeping Justin, you know what they're doing? They are giving him the best support system around. The best support system since he's been here. And I don't know if you understand or comprehend how important that is. How important that makes it feel how important that makes a quarterback feel. That you're doing things for him. You're doing things so he can produce. You're doing things so he can throw touchdowns. You're doing things so he can read defenses. You're putting him in the best position to be successful. That's what you're doing to Justin Fields. Or whoever the quarterback's going to be. I still believe it's going to be Justin. Still believe. Cue up Brenda K. Starr. Or for younger people, Mariah Carey. Believe. You know, this is going to be the best, most talented staff that Justin Fields has had around him since he's been here. You know, I was watching some of his tape earlier, before the show. And I'm watching, the one thing I watch is I watch his feet, and like his feet were great the first year. Nagy you can say what we want about Nagy. We have a lot of bad things to say about him. One of the good things, he got his feet together. All of Justin throws, not a lot, all of them were in rhythm. Because his footwork was damn near perfect. Cornelius, I hope as well. Can't believe that Poles and Flukes were passing the opportunity to pick up so much talent. I'm telling you, you could get a 10-piece. You can get a 10-piece for that one pick from last year. That's one side of the ball. That's a starter on one side of the entire one side of the ball. For one pick. You get it? This is why when people say it's Justin versus Caleb, it's not. It's Caleb versus Justin plus the 10 picks. All right, so the take out the picks from yesterday. So you got 3 players: DJ Moore, Tyreek Stevenson, Darnell Wright. What can you get this year? If you get the same, a proven player, there's your first round pick. That alone is a first round pick. You mean to tell me there's a wide receiver who did better than DJ Moore? He's better than anything in the draft because he was proven. So if you get another proven player, what if it's a wide receiver? What if it's a tight end? What if it's a 3-tech? What if it's a defensive end? What if it's a safety? What if there's a whole bunch of different places we can get it. And it's a day 1 starter. That's one less draft pick we have to deal with. Coach is a teacher. Yeah, you've heard it. I've said it here a million times. Coaching is nothing more than teaching. I'm teaching you football, teaching you my scheme that I need you to play. That's all it is. People who keep saying otherwise don't get it. You put Justin Fields, because here's my thing. You know what? Here's what we're gonna do. Let's do this first. Let's take a quick break, and on the other side of the break, we'll actually start the top of the morning topics. How's that? All right. So don't go anywhere, folks. Keep it locked right here. Shawn and Maya in the morning. Where'd that go? There you go. Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago.
Hey, it's your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra, and be sure to follow Sports Zone Chicago on all social media platforms, on Facebook, Instagram, and our Roku channel. You can find us at Sports Zone Chicago, and on Twitter, we are at Sports Zone Shy. Also, be sure to download our mobile app so you can take Sports Zone Chicago with you on the go.
Time out. How are you feeling right now? Happy? Excited? Angry? Overwhelmed? One of the best things you can do for your mind health is to name what you're feeling. It can sharpen your awareness and help you talk about your feelings with someone you trust. Here are 3 questions to ask yourself. Where are your thoughts right now? In the past, the present, the future? Do you notice any sensations in your body? Is your heart beating fast? Is there a flutter in your stomach? Or are you fully relaxed? What do you need right now? Time with others? Time to yourself? Remember, there's power in this awareness. So find ways to identify what you're feeling today.
Hi, guys. Hey. Hi, Megan. Hey, Jessica. Megan, you're a tramp. Ryan Fitch told me you guys made out. Everybody knows. He said your breath smells like garbage. And he almost puked. He says you're the most desperate girl he knows, besides your mom. How many boyfriends does she have anyway? Lots? Your makeup makes you look like a clown. That zit is huge, zit face. Ugly.
Hey, bud, what you doing?
I'm playing with cars.
Cars? Can you show me what a car does? Whoa, 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 whoa. Hold on a second. First of all, this is a school zone. So you need to put down your cell phone, stop texting, and let's get to driving. Now you're coming up to a stop sign, right? You need to slow down and stop before you hit that Y line. I want you to look left, right, left. You don't want to get hit by a car going on your left, and to your right to make sure you don't get sideswiped by a guy coming from your right. You're coming, and you see a crosswalk. You better slow your horses down, because the #1 rule of driving is always yield to pedestrians. Now stop, pull over, and you are done driving. Gosh, what do they teach you kids in school nowadays?
in the post. Shot clock at 4. Caruso just beats the buzzer. Nothing but that. Bang, bang, AC. 3 points. Sumo weaving in through traffic, and he converts again over Porter. Yeah, he's aggressive. Baseline shot clock winding down. 5 seconds for DeRozan. He gets this one off in the left. 3-point play out of that.
Oh, he didn't get him with the eyebrow fake.
Nice crossover move by DeRozan. Oh, and he yams it home.
What does Brown do for you? Absolutely nothing. But get in the way.
Stacy, welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning at Sports Zone Chicago. Those clips courtesy of NBC Sports Chicago. Those were the Bullies yesterday. We're going to talk about them in a second. But guys, you know how we do. The first segment of every show is called Top of the Morning.
It won't come just when you want it.
Top of the morning to you. Top of the morning to you. Top of the morning to you.
Wow. Forgot. My goodness. I can't believe I forgot to do this. The first top of the morning topic, you know, one of the things that was, we'll get to that in a second. You know, one of the things that it's funny how people are so bold or they're so arrogant about certain things. I get it. You know, you're happy about whatever. But when people who don't know stuff, like, it's kind of annoying. And then, you know, the jamokes start spouting what they hear. I had a little run-in yesterday with a dude who, you know, who continues to spout stuff. Like, Justin doesn't know how to read defenses. This and this. And I'm like, dude, and my main question is, do you know how to read defenses? Like, because if you can't read defenses, then, you know, you really can't say someone can't read defenses. You know what I mean? Like, it's, how can you sit there and tell me he can't read defenses when you can't read defenses? You know? And he's like, and it's funny, he was like, you better watch who you're talking to. He said, I've had hundreds of hours of Justin tape, you know, whatever. You're going to, if you want to challenge me, you'll get burned. I'm like, oh, getting burned. Oh, you got me. Because, like, people, I'm tired of people always saying, you know, spout, like, it's, they're really annoying. They're like Cowboy fans and Packer fans and Yankee fans. And, like, this is within our own faction. You know, like, this is our own squad. But here you go. First top of the morning topic, the Bulls. The Bulls, baby. And the Bulls had a tough one. All right, the Bulls fall to the Toronto Raptors at home. They're on the west side, or West Town, whatever you want to call it. They lose to the Toronto Raptors 118 and 107. DeMar DeRozan led the way with 25 points. Ayo, Chicago's very own. He chipped in 21 points. Booch, almost a double-double, 14 points, 9 boards. It's a game I thought they had. It's a game I thought they were going to walk away with. But Toronto has they've got a long team, tall and long and lanky. And those are the teams that give the Bulls problems. Although yesterday he did go with double big man. He did go with Andre Drummond and Nikola Vucevic out there on the floor at the same time, and he's been doing that. Billy Donovan, I'm talking. He's been doing that a little more, which I like. You know, Andre Drummond's a walking double-double. Vooch is damn near is a walking double-double. Although he missed it by a rebound yesterday. Having those two guys out there doesn't keep us at such a mismatch. Okay? And there was I don't know what the reason was, but there was some reason that he wasn't playing those guys for the last 2 years. Just wasn't playing them together. And I don't know why. James Ford, what's up, Papa? Good morning. Thank you for tuning in. DC, those uniforms are sick. Dude, when I saw the City Edition uniforms, man, oh man, oh man. Yeah, those bad boys are sick. I was, and then when they explained it, they explained exactly they explained the inspiration for it. Oh, come on, man. It was awesome. You know, the vertical. What? Come on. The vertical on the jersey. Why are you not doing? Why are you messing around? Here, all right. We're gonna have to. Yeah. We're gonna have to save this. But the vertical, it's crazy. So the vertical name to the on the jerseys is reminiscent or is an homage to the old Chicago Stadium, where the outside on the building was the name of the stadium, and it was vertical. I thought it was pretty cool. I was like, okay, that makes sense. I get it. Then they had some other stuff too, but they're just sweet. I mean, see, for me, I'm one of those guys like I love to coordinate. Like I love. Here you go, man. You see on Zach LaVine's waist, it still has the 4 stars. Yep. Yeah, those are tight. Yeah, DC, man, those are real. I have to give me one of those jerseys. I might have to go with the Jordan just because, or just maybe customize it and have my name on the back. But those unis are dope. Dope. Nike, phenomenal job with the Bulls City Edition unis. Now, I can't say the same about all the other teams' City Edition uniforms. Can't do that. But they did right by the Bulls. They damn sure did right by the Bulls. I think Alex Caruso was wearing some all black Nikes with like a grayish or off black swoosh. Yeah, they look sick. Those look sick, dude. I was like, oh, those are tight. What if you want to wear the Jordan 11s, the black on black on black, the black and the breads, the Jordan 11 breads, the black with the black patent leather at the bottom, the black shoe, the black upper, the black patent leather, and then the red bottom. Come on, man. Come on, man. That's sick. That is sick. Yes, sir. Telling you. That color scheme. Yeah. That color scheme is tight. Because I mean, Chicago's not the only place, but we love our shoes. And we're the home of the Mikes, all right? Because this is the house that Mike built. So when those 11s came out in different colors in the playoffs, they had the breads, the red bottom. Come on, man. Come on, man. All black with the black patent leather and the red bottoms. Woo, what like Louis Vuittons? Basketball, Louis Vuitton basketball shoes? Like, man. Those are dope. It's funny. And I remember a lot of kids were coming out and let's see, 84, 95. Yeah. So a lot of kids had them when I was at Flower. I was at Flower High School. Kids are rocking them things. Whew. Yeah. But you know which ones are dope too? Let's not forget the twos. I'm loving the twos because the twos were the first. They're iconic because they are the first Nike shoe without the swoosh. The first Nike shoe without the swoosh. Remember the iguana skin? Yeah. The iguana skin. Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking about. The first one, the black and red ones. Yep. But anyway, I digress. We're going off and sticking with the Bulls travel to Charlotte tonight to face the Charlotte Hornets. Tip off at 6 p.m. You can catch that game on NBC Sports Chicago tonight. Okay, or you can listen to it on their flagship station, 670 AM. They should beat the Hornets. Mike's old team. Well, he's still running it, but he's not the owner. He sold his majority stake. He cashed out for like, what, $3 billion? $3 billion. That's sick. That's sick. So they should be able to handle these boys tonight. But I thought that it's kind of weird to me. So you're on the road, what, 4 or 5 games, a week, a little over a week on the left coast. Then you come home for one game, and then you're on the road again for like 2 or 3 days, through 2 or 3 games. Like, wait a minute, they just got back. Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. All right, so we were home yesterday. We go to Charlotte, and we come back home on Saturday. But we're home against Toronto yesterday. So after the game, we hopped the plane, flew to Charlotte. Coming back tonight, and we play Saturday at home. It's kind of weird. You're doing a little too much, NBA. You're doing too much. We had some interesting times. Gotta love Southside dancers. What's funny is I just folded my pants and those fell out today. I was like, oh. Oh, alrighty then. Oh my goodness. That's crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. I love it. I love it. Next top of the morning topic, the Bears. What? The Bears continue to fill out their coaching staff. All right. Chris Beatty is the new wide receiver coach. He has history with DJ Moore as he coached DJ Moore when DJ Moore was at Maryland. I'm liking this hire. What I'm really liking, I'm liking the quality of guys, of coaches that they're bringing in. You know, people, I'm telling you, I'm going to create a shirt. I'm going to create a shirt. I'll see if I can get it done this weekend. There goes the warden. She's heading out to CrossFit class. I got to pick her up after the show. But I'm going to create I'm going to make up a t-shirt. Patent pending. I'm not going to tell you what it is. I said it already before. I'm not going to reiterate it. And I think that I'm going to, you know what? I'm going to annoy all these Justin haters. Because I'm going to tell you what, when the Bears decide to keep Justin and finally trade the number 1 overall pick, I'm going to be annoying about it. I'm going to be ignorant about it. I'm going to be hated for it. Hated for it. Because I'm going to talk so much shit. And this is the Bears fans. I've never seen one fan base so divided the way this Bears fan base was divided this year. Not once, but twice. This is the second time they've been divided. It goes to show you that people have an agenda. And then you listen to people who don't know football or other people have an agenda, they just sound stupid. Now, I don't mind if you have an agenda, but don't tell us you don't have an agenda when you have an agenda. You know, don't tell us. This is what I see off my scouting and my analysis from the tape, from film. And because what happens is we can sit over the tape or the film, and we can find out all the flaws with Justin. So my question to people is this, like, no one wants to debate me on this because you can't. You'll lose. People say Justin is better. Well, it's impossible to say Justin's better because Justin hasn't played in the NFL. But you're willing to project what Justin can do in the NFL. You're willing to project what Justin can do, especially with this coaching staff. You're projecting with Shane Waldron, and also Kerry Joseph now, quarterback coach. You're projecting what Justin can do, but you won't project you're projecting what Caleb will do, but you won't project what Justin can do? Someone who's already been in the league, someone who's already had success, someone who's beaten some of the best cornerbacks and defenses at times, But you're going to project the guy who hasn't thrown a single pass in the NFL with this new staff, but you won't project Justin's growth from this new staff? Don't tell me you don't have an agenda. My thing is clear. I want Justin here. I think he gives us the best idea. I'm not going to sit there and say, well, I'm going to hide behind and look at this and look at that. And that. No. Everything I've seen shows me that Justin is the guy for this job. No, I can show you passes. I can show you plays. And if your analysis says, Caleb, good for you, I disagree. I disagree. We can go at it we can go at it financially. We can just go at it from a common sense point of view. We're going to get about 10 to 12 players from this one pick. Probably 6 to 8 players from this this part of that one pick this year. Because this number one pick is still from last year's number one overall pick. So from this number one pick this year, we might get 6 to 8 players / picks. I say both because we're probably going to get a player in the trade. And if you mean to tell me if we get 3 more starters like we did last year, just 3. We get 3 more starters. One who's already an established veteran. That's our first round pick. That could slot into our number 3 or 5 or wherever we get. So our actual pick will be gravy. That's house money, which will be Marvin Harrison Jr. And then we get 2 rookies, maybe 3 rookies who make the all-rookie team. Oh, hell yeah. Oh, hell yeah. To tell me that we're going to get 3 starters. Starters will be here for the next 6 years. 5 years. Just say 5. Let's go. Their first contract. You know how much damage can be done in 5 years? You know, I love when people are trying to make a point. People use everything against you or whatever your position is. They'll look at all the bad things. I haven't hid from any of the bad things from Justin. Have I? Have I? I've stated I wanted Justin here. I said from watching tape, I thought Justin is the best person for this job. I've also said there's things that Justin needs to work on. He'll miss receivers, but guess what? All quarterbacks miss receivers. His footwork. Well, guess what? That was done by the Jamoke who just left. So now he has to undo his footwork and do it properly. Because if you look at his first year, a lot of his throws, a lot of them on time. Why? Proper footwork, proper coaching. People who say you can't read defenses, you can't talk to me ever again about football. You can't talk to me about football if you sit there and tell me Justin can't read defenses. It's impossible. I will not take you seriously because we've seen it time and time again on tape, on film. where Justin has held defenders or he's moved defenders in order to make a throw. You don't sit and move defenders if you can't read a defense because you don't know who to manipulate. And you have to know what defense they're in so you know who to manipulate. Hell, the last game of the season against number 7, the first play of the game, second play of the game. Remember where JT O'Sullivan was going freaking crazy? Oh, this is fucking crazy. I can't believe he's got to throw this to DJ Moore. This slant, he's got to throw it. And we watched it. I'm like, wait a minute. No, he doesn't. It was a pass to Cole Kmet. And if you watch it from the end zone angle, number 7 is leaning toward DJ. Leaning. And Justin whines. He's looking at DJ. As he whines, he takes his eyes off DJ. Number 7 takes a step toward DJ, realizes it's going to Kmet, and comes back. That step away from Kmet gives Justin a wide open pocket. Like, you got to hit this guy. This guy's got yak. And I try to explain to people, like, wait a minute. He just moved that defender. He moved number 7. Now, when I mean move, I don't mean he takes him off the damn field. I mean, just that alone is moving somebody. Because now you have to make up that step and then cover ground. And people were complaining he should have hit DJ Moore because of he's a yak monster, he's this, he's that. And I'm like, wait a minute. I was like, first of all, there's a cornerback trailing him. There's a safety over the top. And then there's number 7, who's a rover or a spy who's ready to go knock his block off. And it's the first series of the game. I might have been first down. Might have been the first play. Because after the play, they go and they show the time. And it was 14 minutes left in the first quarter. I'm like, wait a minute. You're upset? You're upset that he threw a wide open tight end sit route 8 yards downfield on first down, as opposed to throwing to DJ Moore, who might have got his bell rung with the number 7 coming straight at his head. Maybe, just maybe, Justin wanted to get his tight end involved early. There's a crazy idea. So this is crazy how people are just trying to tell you they understand football. Patrick Mahomes developed by a Hall of Fame coach, people. Yeah, he was. Or yes, he is. He's still being developed. That's the scary part. He's not even done yet. His development by Andy Reid is so good as he's not. It's not even a. Matt Nagy's shitty coaching isn't even affecting him. It did earlier in the year. It really did earlier. And then, like, all right, let's listen to Andy Reid and not Matt Nagy. Let's do that. And that's the same question to people who said that he can't read defenses. And when I ask, can you? The reply from them is, I don't get paid to read defenses. Well, my question is, well, how do you know he can't read defenses if you can't read a defense? How do you know where he's supposed to go? How do you know what his read is? Do you know if you read defenses, then you should be able to tell me the coverage. If you're able to tell me the coverage, you should be able to tell me the route combination by watching. And if you know where the route combination is, then you should be able to tell me where the ball's going. And that's with no blitz. Or that's with no penetration. Or a busted assignment on the line where he has to run and change his read. But that's too, well, I heard from such and such who has an agenda. It's so funny. People who say they don't have an agenda have an agenda. I've never hid from the fact that I want Justin here. I've never hid from the fact that I feel that he's better than Caleb and he's the best person for this job. And listen, that is no disrespect to Caleb by any stretch. No disrespect to him at all. I think Caleb is going to be a great player. I just don't want it here because we have a good quarterback. We have a great quarterback. And people talk about, well, you can go from good to great. You can't project what Caleb Williams is going to be. He hasn't thrown a pass. I can project what Justin Fields is going to be. He's thrown passes. He's evaded the rush. He pulled Houdini acts. Escape what is unescapable. Like, how did you last home game? Everyone thought he was down. The dude had his leg. He had a hop over. Breaks free, runs for the first down. It was third down. We're in the booth going, are you freaking kidding me? I hope so. And here's the question I have to ask you, though. Great. AC, good morning, Papa. Thank you for tuning in. But also thank you for this comment. Are they hurting Washington by not trading with them already? And here's why. Why do you think, and I'm not saying I know, I'm asking you, my peoples, all my peoples in the struggle. Why do you think Bobby Slowick and Ben Johnson stayed with their teams? Bobby Slowick was in talks with Washington to be their head coach. So is Ben Johnson. My opinion, personally, I think they stayed because because Washington doesn't have the number 1 pick yet. Washington doesn't have the number 1 pick yet. So you can expect the Texans to be really good again next year. You'd expect the Lions to be really good next year. Because if the Bears had traded that pick to Washington, one of these two would be their head coach. I prefer it be Ben Johnson, get him out of the division. But hey. Or are you just making sure that Williams doesn't get off to a great jump? Cornelius, these people talk like it's an absolute certainty Caleb is the next Patrick Mahomes. And again, I don't wish bad on Caleb. I don't think he's a bad person. I don't think he's a jerk. I don't think he's he kicks people's dogs. I just feel Justin is the better person for this gig here. Everything people say about Justin, or I should say everything people say about Caleb, Justin can do, if not better. The one thing that I will give Caleb, he might have a quicker release than Justin. He might. But arm strength, nope, not better. Ability to survey the field, not better. Ability to buy time, extend the play, not better. And Caleb is good at it. But I've seen Caleb buy time in college. I haven't seen him buy time in the pros. I haven't seen him break tackles in the pros. And if you don't think there's a difference, you're nuts. Caleb has not, unlike Justin, done it at this level. And I'm telling you, everyone says when they talk about he holds the ball too long. Well, that's poor play design. If you follow me on Facebook, go back. There is a four-minute montage. I told you about this last week or 2 weeks ago. Of just good plays from Justin. From the pocket. And if you look at him, every single play, his feet were in rhythm. Every single play. So they signed Chris Beatty, the new wide receiver coach. Here's a hire I really like, Thomas Brown, the new passing game coordinator. He came over from the Carolina Panthers. He actually interviewed for the offensive coordinator gig here. They didn't give it to him. They gave it to St. Waldron. However, him coming back indicates this to me, that if Shane Waldron is able to unleash Justin Fields, Shane Waldron is gone. He'll get a head coaching gig. And you know what? Rightfully so. Happy for you. Good luck at your next stop. But we still have an offense and a quarterback that needs some attention. And that's where Thomas Brown comes in. So there'll be a sense of continuity when Waldron leaves, whether it's after this season or after the 25 season. There'll be a sense of familiarity for Justin. That's what's important for me. That's what's important. You know, it's interesting to hear people people also talk like Justin has hit his ceiling and can't get better when just with experience he alone he should be better. Yes. And you sit there and you listen to people and I'm like, what's the highest level you've ever played or coached? Okay, because you sound silly. You've seen what Justin can do. I'm telling you, I wish I had I'm looking and here comes my my picture. Here. So here's what I'm gonna do. Just for shits and giggles. Hold on, let me take this one off. Just for shits and giggles. Okay. And watch Justin's feet. And I showed this to you before. I know I did. But watch Justin's feet. Okay? Watch his feet. That's all I'm going to ask you to do. Watch his feet.
Sets up deep in the pocket with time. And Jax.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bounce, throw, boom. On time. See? In rhythm. Oh, they cut it off from the end zone. No problem. 1, 2,
Play
3,
fake.
4, 5.
Fields
Bounce.
delivers
Throw.
over the middle.
Deliver.
Allen Robinson. Here's
1,
Fields.
2, 3. Bounce.
Lines
Throw.
up. Deep.
Over the shoulder. Beautiful.
By Fields.
Look at this.
Bobby
Look at
Price, the third, starting left corner.
1, 2, 3,
Play
4,
fake.
5, 6,
Fields
7. Bounce.
sets.
Bounce.
Delivers
Throw.
deep.
Look at that. Right between two defenders.
System has started to click. First third down. There's Robinson wrapped in the buck. Run pass
watching
on
this.
these three guys. Fields turns the shoulders. Let's it
Right in
in for
between three
Robinson.
defenders. Play fake. Steps back.
Down the field, and
Hits
it's
the
jumbo
spot
set
and
this
goes out of
time.
bounds.
A fake to Herbert.
at this
Fields
throw.
looking for
Throw
the
it to
end
his
zone.
left.
Diving
Let's look at this from the back angle. Look at this.
Across
Guys
his
diving.
body, working to his left. The fake.
Come on, man.
Fields against the grain. Finds Jesse James downfield. Needs him to do better than
This
that.
is Jesse James. Tight end.
Fields rolling and throwing and complete.
Hisco Komet as he steps out
Fields
of
wants
bounds.
to load up. Shot down the middle. It is caught.
Underthrown. Needs to step into that
Got a
more.
chip on Watt. Allows Fields to have some time to open up the fourth. Pittsburgh side of the field. Here's Fields throwing, and it is caught.
1, 2, 3. Bounce. Throw. Get it out
Fields
of here.
throws. Got his guy. Allen Robinson down the sideline. Fields under some pressure. Throws on the run.
Beautiful.
Lost one of the end zone. It is caught.
Come on, man. See what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? Like when you tell me he can't read defenses, you're crazy. When you tell me he can't win from the pocket, you're crazy. When you tell me these things, it shows me you don't know jack shit about football. Because I just showed you how many games worth of him from the pocket. From the pocket. Good footwork, in rhythm, on time, getting the ball out, humpback line drive, 95-mile-an-hour fastball, dropping it in the bucket, throwing across his body over the extended arms of a diving linebacker into the arms of his tight end. And you want to sit there and tell me he can't read defenses? So when you say that, I understand that you don't know jack about football, and this conversation ceases to progress further because your level of football is rudimentary, elementary at best. That is exactly what he can do. Now, my thing is, no, he has not done it consistently. That's the issue. But there are factors for that, and factors that will be ironed out with this new coach and this new offensive staff. And when they do, watch out. I told you, Justin's going to be a top 5 quarterback. Top 5 quarterback with coaching. So if he does that every game, who's going to stop him? Not very many people. Well, listen, let's take a quick break because you got me fired up in the morning. Because all these Justin haters, people are coming at me, oh, Justin sucks and Justin this. I'm like, when you say that, you know, I render you irrelevant, right? You could just say you don't like him. Yeah, he's a good player. I don't like him. I don't want him here. Okay, I respect that a hell of a lot more. But then when you say Justin sucks or he can't read defense, listen, my next guest, we're going to switch gears because baseball season's coming up. And yeah, you scrub fans, yeah, you're going to have a good season. I know. As for us, are we even having a season? Are we even having a season? Because I really don't give a damn. So my obligation is to bring some people and talk about your team. This next guy is a good friend of the program. He's going to come on the other side of the break. A quick break. Don't worry, we're not going to take 7 minutes. That's just when I have to go to the bathroom. It's a quick break. Don't go anywhere. Keep it locked right here. My man, Evan Altman, coming up. And Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago.
17. Back he goes. Here comes Chubb. There goes the ball. Touchdown! Jones about at the right tackle. Time for Fields. Now he'll accelerate to get the first down. Great tackles, and he's off to the races. Oh, he got a terrific block.
For every generation, it has started with the call to serve. Discovering the purpose and the belonging earned with the title. Learning to dig deep and push through adversity together. Defending our nation and its people. It is a life of great worth and reward. But Marines are never really finished serving. Their commitment comes full circle, visible in communities across our country. This is Semper Fidelis, always faithful, always Marine, marking a path for the next generation.
Swanson takes off, hammered right field. It's a belly bomb. Out of here today. In the air, right field. That one back, and that one is gone. A belly bomb, his first, and Wrigley. And Patrick, you were saying we're going back to back, a belly bomb. And it's 3-1 and a long, slow trot for the former Dodger, Cody Bellinger. That has got to feel great.
Belly bombs galore. I know you Scrub fans are fired up about that. You should be. You should be, because I'm fired up about it. I don't even like the Cubs. I sure as hell like that dude, though. Those clips courtesy of the Marquee Network. It was Cody Bellinger. Just bombing away, baby. Bombing away. I told you, it's not that I don't even like the Cubs. It's that I don't like you guys. Junior. Junior, one of my best friends, is one of those people. He grew up in Lakeview. So he grew up in Boys Town. It's okay. It's fine. It's cool. My next guest is a good friend of the program. He's editor-in-chief over at CubsInsider.com. And, man, I got a lot of questions for him. Because how good is this Cubs season going to be? Man, I'll tell you what, it'll be a hell of a lot better if you sign that dude. Man, you can find this guy on Twitter at @DEvanAltman. Guys, just welcome back to Shawn and Maya, Evan Altman. Evan, good morning, Papa. How are you? Happy Wednesday.
Yeah, I'm doing well, man. I'm looking at a Wu-Tang flag right now, as a matter of fact, and I got the poster on the wall, and I got some stuff up here, and hey, man, my last tattoo's got a Wu-Tang logo in it. Wu Wednesdays are like a holiday around here.
You want to know what's really, really funny? So my mom goes to CrossFit. I sent her to CrossFit Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I go pick her up after the show. She left like 10 minutes ago. She goes, do you have a shirt for me? I was like, yeah. Let me go. Oh, yes, I do. Dude, I got a Wu-Tang shirt.
Nice.
Make sure you check on Facebook a little later and check my page. I'll have a picture of her with a Wu-Tang shirt on.
Love it.
Wu-Tang Wednesday, and Wu-Tang is for the children. Yes, it is.
It is.
And the old folks.
Children of all ages.
Oh, man. Well, let's get to it. You know what? Cody Bellinger has not received, according to Bob Nightingale, has not received one single offer. He was asking for 200 plus. Is it now time? Warren Buffett said, and I quote, when the market is fearful, be aggressive. When the market is aggressive, be fearful. The market is fearful right now. They're not trying to touch Cody Bellinger in his $200 million contract. Is it time for the Cubs to be aggressive and go get him at their price, not his?
Yeah, I mean, if he's willing, and at this point, it certainly doesn't appear, and that Nightingale report was interesting because he did say formal offers. And so, the sense is that, I mean, teams clearly know what the asking price is, right? You don't know what the price is unless you've been told or it's been strongly hinted. And we know how Scott Boras works. But, I've been told that the Cubs have a number that that Team Boris is well aware of that number, and the Cubs aren't budging from it. And so I think we're left to believe that it's nowhere near what they're asking. So there have been, so I guess you don't really call it an offer because they're not saying like, hey, here it is, because then you run the risk, right? If I make an offer that's insulting to you and, it's more formalized, we run the risk of you just walking away and believing I'm not serious at all. Whereas, if we're exchanging some numbers, well, hey, what about this? I do think that if the Cubs, all things considered, I do believe that Bellinger would like to return to Chicago. He would prefer, he enjoyed his time there. The team sets up well for him. The ballpark sets up well for him. He gets along with everybody there. But we know Jed Hoyer has said time and time again, like he literally said, we're in the business of getting good deals, not just making deals. So I am of the firm belief that there is a number beyond which they will not go, whether it's 150 million or what. And right now, that number is way too low in terms of what Scott Boras and Cody Bellinger are willing to accept. But there's got to be some middle ground there, right? You have to believe you can go and get him at a better value than what he's asking for to move forward. And that's kind of a need, right? They've done pretty much nothing outside of just really hoping that, Michael Busch and some of their other prospects come up and perform at a very, very high level.
At some particular point, and I would assume, and again, don't make an assumption, make an ass out of you and umption. All right, but that Cody Bellinger knows that Boras works for him and not the other way around. At some particular point, there's got to come a point in time where family gets involved. Like, all right, I need to know if I'm going to Arizona or if I'm going to Florida. I need to know where I need to start putting the kids in the school, start looking at school districts in this town or this town or this town. Like there's a whole personal side of it that really needs to be affected. And once the old lady gets into it, let's keep a buck. Let's keep a spade, call a spade and keep it real. Once the old lady gets involved, like, hey, listen, honey, I know you wanted 200 million. I think 170 mil, 160 mil, I think we'll be just fine. I don't think we're going on WIC anytime soon. That could have a big effect on him making a decision as well.
Yeah, most definitely. And Bellinger lives in Phoenix in the off season, right? So he's been working out there. Granted, there are maybe some other teams that would be involved in that are going to be in that area. But I know, when you talk about some of the other possibilities, right? The Blue Jays have been mentioned quite a bit. Now, I think they're probably out. I don't believe the Justin Turner thing. Like a lot of people are like, oh, that pushes them out. And so now they're at this and this level and they're already at this. And I'm like, yeah, well, if they don't sign Turner for 13 and they sign Bellinger for 20 or 25, like that still puts them way over where you thought they wanted to be. So I think the Blue Jays are out. They're a Florida spring training team. The Giants seem like a possibility, but I know they've added some outfielders and even though they're like desperate to pay for some players because nobody seems to want to go there. But again, like everything seems to fit. So I do think you run into that potential situation. And we saw this with Bryce Harper. Right now, nobody's crying for Harper. He got $300 million, whatever it was, for 13 years. No options, no nothing, and he's been happy in Philly. I still believe at the end of the day that his preference was Chicago. I think that's where he wanted to actually end up, and he certainly seemed to be hinting at that very strongly. We joke about the dog named Wrigley and everything else, and he was talking about how much he likes deep dish. Some of that's just trolling the media when he had that chance. But I think it took as long as it did because, I know the Sox maybe kind of threw some figures his way that were nowhere near what he needed to be at. The Cubs weren't in the race at all. They just kind of kicked the tires and didn't do anything. But I think he waited as long as he did to be like, hey, guys, come on, like, please, somebody. And now we're hearing it's not a coincidence that all these reports are coming that keep saying, well, the Cubs are the preferred destination, but he hasn't made a choice yet, which is like Scott Boras putting it out there like, hey, teams, like, let's go ahead, give us an offer, right? Because maybe that spurs the Cubs to. But I do think Bellinger is at that point where he's like, all right, hey, Scott, come on, buddy. We got 2 weeks left. I'm going to have to take something. If you can't make this work, let's go. So, I think he's going to end up taking a lot less than what he wants. But at the end of the day, like you said, man, you got a lot of money. If you're making $150 million plus, like, happiness is worth quite a bit. So unless it's something like some other team's throwing another $100 million at him, which I doubt, he might as well go where he's going to be happiest.
He's 28 years old. He'll be 29 in July. They're not giving him an 8-10-year deal. He's got, I think, a 6-year deal is fine. He'll be 35 when it's up. If he wants to go get another couple of year, 2-year, 3-year deal somewhere else, cool, whatever. I think he's that. I think he's got to realize, man, 150, 6 for 150, anywhere between 120, 150, 20 plus a year. Come on, Papa. And it just sucks for him. Timing's everything. Look at Jake Arrieta. If Jake Arrieta became a free agent 1 year sooner, he'd probably got like $17 trillion. All right. But he didn't. All right. He had a year in between in Cy Young and then his free agency. All right. Same with Bellinger. I believe Bellinger was the unfortunate victim of injuries those 2 seasons that really derailed him. He took out 2 good years of his life, and not his life. He's fine, but 2 good years of pay for him. Okay, and the perception of him. So he had to take the deal with the Cubs. It's just the nature of the beast. And again, I ain't crying for you, Papa. I don't think you're hitting the wick line anytime soon. Okay, I don't think you're hitting that line anytime soon. You're just not going to do the $200 million. And I think, I personally, I just love the dude. I love the dude. I think he, like I said, how I feel about Cub fans, but that dude, if there's a more perfect person to play for the Cubs, please name him for me, because he fits that culture to a T.
He does, and everybody raved about that, right? Like, he is, we talk about, like, baseball is commonly, it's a fits and starts game. It's slumps and valleys, it's peaks and valleys, whatever. But there's probably not a dude who has ever played the game who's as even keel, who just kind of, again, he's going to ride the waves when they're there, and he's just going to kind of chill on his surfboard when the waves aren't coming, and he's going to be happy either way. But the interesting thing with Bellinger, the other thing I want to note, right, because you brought it up, inconsistency with the injuries, everything else. He had this big year, but I don't know if there's another player who's harmed more by the advent of all the advanced data that we have, because we can look at his numbers, we can look at the box scores, but when you look at this dude being like 10th percentile in terms of exit velocity and like 20th percentile in hard hit rate, and then you talk about his age, right, you start to fear, and this is it's a red flag for me. Like, I'll admit that he can overcome those well with his 2-strike approach, but you don't pay a dude $25 million a year to morph into a slap hitting gap guy. And if there's fear that those home runs are going to go away, right, that's another couple $1 million coming off the annual value every time. Now, again, can he keep that up? Can he get stronger again? Like, obviously that's possible. He could add a little bit more power, but I know a lot of teams are afraid of that and how he's going to age into that contract. So yeah, like you said, I don't see the Cubs going past 6 years on him, and I don't think he wants to get less than 8 right now, but at some point you got to kind of settle.
I agree. As much as I love Cody on the north side, there's other people on the team. I don't know if other people realize this, but there's other people on the team as well.
No.
The Cubs just signed Hector Neris. Okay, right-handed reliever. Talk to me about that. How you happy with it? What does it move the needle for you at all? Is it just insurance? Your thoughts on this signing?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a pretty good deal, when you consider that they've already got kind of Adbert Alzolay, Julian Merriweather there at the back end. Neris is another guy with some closing experience, with some very high leverage experience at the highest level, right? I mean, he's been with the Astros. He knows what it's like to win. Now you basically look at your back 3 innings are covered, and now you can kind of play around a little bit. I think we're going to see, Craig Counsell has been masterful in managing a bullpen in Milwaukee for several years. There were a couple of years there where the starting rotation wasn't any great shakes. Mm-hmm. Their offense was okay, but they thrived on that bullpen. Like, if
5,
we're
6, 7, and 8
5 innings, yeah, like, we're good, and then that shifted a little bit, and then it became, hey, they've got this elite starting rotation and a great closer, but the rest of the bullpen was kind of mix and match, but he still was able to make it work. So I think when you're talking about, they've got some young guys who could be coming up, some hard throwers. They've done a lot of work, as always, and as every team does, kind of finding some of these reclamation guys on minor league deals, kind of let them battle it out during spring training. But when you get Neris, you get that back end. Like, that's the thing. Hey, you've got your rotation. Those always get shorter now as we continue along. But if you look at covering your first 4 to 5 innings and then you're back 2 to 3 innings, well, now all of a sudden you can really play around a little bit and really work those matchups for 1 or 2 innings. And all you need to do is find a few guys who can handle that. So I like where that shakes out and what that means for Craig Counsell. And it allows them a lot of leeway if they end up wanting to make some deals to kind of clear some space, maybe bring in somebody who's, you can never guarantee performance, right, on a pitching staff, but somebody who's a little bit more proven. Or you say, hey, this gives us more of a leash to let some of these young guys like a Cade Horton, one of the top pitching prospects in baseball, say, hey, we don't have a spot in the rotation right now, but we're going to bring you along in the bullpen to start out. Hey, we got a spot for that. We can give you a little bit more leash there. So, I think it works out pretty well. And there's, some dudes they picked up that, again, they aren't on the roster yet, but I think spring training will be really interesting to see how some of these new guys perform.
Guys, we're joined by Evan Altman from CubsInsider.com, talking Cubs baseball here on Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. What else do the Cubs need then in this offseason? As I said, spring training is a couple weeks away. What is their most glaring need heading into Arizona?
I mean, outside of the obvious that we spent the first part of this discussing, they do need a little bit more. They need to solidify their corners, right? Because right now we can look at it and say there's like 8 guys you could name between first base and third base and say, well, maybe he gets the bulk of these. Well, maybe it's him. Well, this guy needs more reps here. Well, what about this guy? And there's no.
Is that where the Reese Hopkins signing really screwed him?
Yeah,
the Brewers.
Like, oh, that made sense. There's a good fit. Well, no, but then they made the trade for Michael Busch with the Dodgers. Well, he's been kind of rough at third. We'll make him a first baseman. He's played there a little bit, sure. Patrick Wisdom could play both. Nick Madrigal's played some third. Oh, we're gonna give Chris Morel reps at first, but then mostly third, and then it's like, oh, where do you go? So I think they're looking at that as at this point, obviously, they didn't pursue Hoskins any further once there was a lot of smoke around that initially. I feel like they're looking internally like those corner spots are full. They're good there, and that's at least that's what they're preaching, and that's why they can try to wait out Cody Bellinger, right? Because
how do you feel about their
center, so we'll see.
How do you feel about their corner spots?
I feel about the way I've been talking about them, which is I don't know, man. I don't. Right. The game is played on 2 sides. You got to have the offense. You got to have the defense. I love what Chris Morel brings if he's in the lineup every day. I don't trust him in the field at a spot. Michael Busch, by all accounts, should be able to hit at the major league level. We haven't seen it in a limited sample with LA, but I mean, the same could be true of, we saw that with Anthony Rizzo, right? When he came over. So can he do that? Yeah. I mean, it's just, there's no player that they've got right now who fits into any of those spots is without very serious questions on one side of the field or the other. Again, whether it's at the plate or in the field. And so, I mean, it's like, if you got 2 quarterbacks, you don't have one. Right. If you have 15 corner infielders, you don't have
you don't have 2.
So that's where they're at. I will, so we'll see. I like I said earlier, right? Like, I need to see somebody step up and like take it. Like, this is mine. I'm gonna take this and run with it. And we just haven't seen that yet. So I guess I'm still in wait and see.
Going into spring training, what is the one thing that you look forward to seeing? Is it a pitcher or who's the one player? Not one thing. Who's the one player looking forward to seeing this season?
I mean, I think just because of kind of the intrigue, having not watched him, Shota Imanaga, the lefty out of Japan that they signed, their only like big signing, right, of the 2 actual signings they've made to major league deals, got him a lot cheaper than what was expected. And, I think what's kind of cool about that is he's got a very interesting fastball. He gets more ride on it. He releases it low. He's got kind of that low 3/4 delivery, but it's he releases it lower and it ends up higher than the average MLB fastball. Gets a ton of ride on it. It's just really kind of an interesting deal. But how does that transition happen? Sometimes guys are able to come over and make that relatively quickly. I've heard that maybe his spin isn't really great. So how does that play? I think that's one of them. It's always intriguing, right? When you bring in a guy who we never got to see in college, we didn't get to see in the minor leagues. We've seen him in Japan, but that's a different level of competition, more of that AA, AAA type of thing. So how does that translate literally and figuratively? I'm very interested to see him in spring training.
Okay. Craig Counsell, he was the big acquisition this offseason. Your thoughts on him and what do you want to see from him in spring training? Because, you got what people consider the best manager out there for this squad. I mean, you Ricky Renteria, David Ross. So this guy needs to, he can't win a championship himself, but he can definitely help. What do you want to see from him out in Arizona in the beginning of the year?
Yeah, I mean, I think, and he would say that, if you've hired him to be a strategic guy, to be the strategist and the general in that sense, that he's the wrong hire, right? Which is interesting because I think a lot of us would have viewed him as that relative to David Ross. A lot of the complaints about Ross were more strategic in nature. But I do think Counsell, again, to his credit, has done a really good job of building a culture and he's talked about really just understanding who these guys are on a personal level, because that kind of allows you then, when you talk about managing a bullpen, when you're talking about who should be pinch hitting in certain spots, it's not just about those numbers and those matchups, but it's also understanding who is this guy? Where's he at mentally right now? Because I know a lot of people probably don't want to hear it, and it's really easy to just say, well, just go throw your stuff past somebody and just go beat them, but there's certain times and certain things that may be happening that player is not in the best space for whatever reason, physically, mentally, anything, to perform at that point. And it's balancing that. And so that's, as I mentioned with the bullpen, I'm very interested to see, because I do think Ross was a little bit sketchy at times there, but more so, one of the bigger complaints and one of the issues that I think fans had that even more objective observers had was kind of the weird cadence with which maybe some of the younger players were played or even weren't played. Guys would be hitting well. Alexander Canario comes in, hits a grand slam. The joke is that, oh, well, now he's not going to play tomorrow. And he didn't. And some of that's maybe matchups, but there was just a feeling that a lot of these young guys were played sporadically, not put in the best positions to succeed. And for a team that again, let's say they don't sign Bellinger, they are going to have to rely more heavily on some of these young prospects coming up. And so how are those guys balanced? How much leash are they given in terms of their playing time and the ability to learn and make mistakes? Because that's how you learn. You learn more from mistakes than from successes. And as we all know, baseball is filled with a lot more mistakes and a lot more failure than success in a relative sense. And so how does he allow them to come up and I want to say fail the right way, if that makes sense? So
it makes complete sense to me.
Don't get punished for your failure, right? That's not how that works. Don't change your game plan. Matt Eberflus and Luke Getsy. Hey, it was working in the first half. Oh, we're ahead. Let's dial everything back. Let's change it and be more conservative so there's fewer mistakes to be made. That's dumb. You make more mistakes when you're playing not to lose. And I do feel like David Ross a lot of times kind of managed not to lose and managed to maybe win today versus trying to win for the season. And that was one thing I really heard from Counsell at Cubs convention when he was talking. He said, I might have to pull a pitcher early because guess what? The next week, the next month, the rest of the season is more important than the next inning, right? So I'm looking big picture. That was a very long answer to it, but I'm interested to see how does that play out relative to his words.
Wow, yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, you guys had a convention. We didn't. Although we're getting one next year, thank goodness.
You have it in the West Loop at the site of the new ballpark.
South Loop.
Oh yeah.
It's right in the lake. We'll be fine.
Yeah, no big deal.
Oh goodness. Well, I'm anxious to see how it plays out. Like I said, I hope you guys get Bellinger. He's one guy that I would love to watch on the north side. And then some of the youngsters, like you said, you mentioned some guys like the one youngster that I'm looking to see how well he does is Morel. All right, I want to just see where he settles in. said his bat. You said his bat is the key. It's huge. It's you want to keep it in the lineup. But where is he going to play defensively? I want to see how he grows, how he develops. If he can get settled in at one particular spot, so he knows every day I'm playing this position, batting this spot in the order every single day, and that goes a lot, especially for youngsters who are just trying to make it and make their way in the show. It's huge for them. So we'll see how it does, and then how Craig Counsell manages him, because he's got a lot of youngsters as well who have some talent, but really not necessarily a spot. So it's going to be pretty interesting to see, because there ain't shit to see on the South Side. That's for damn sure. So, you know what? I'm seriously, I am thinking about going. I'm not. This is how bad it is. This is how bad I am mad at our owner. I'm going to go to a tailgate opening day, but I'm parking my car at the Jewel parking lot and hopping a 35th Street bus. All right. So whoever's going to pay the $30+ now, because it was $30 last year, so it'll probably be more this year. I'll go to the tailgate, drink, get messed up, and then hop the bus.
Hey, might as well. Like, why spend the next 3 hours being mad at yourself for going to the game? You know,
I'm not spending $7 on a bottle of pop.
Enjoy the best parts of it. You know, get all the fun. It's like, why torture yourself after that if it's something that you don't want to be there for? Unless it's, hey, it's a big event, or you want to see somebody. The Dodgers are coming into town or something like that. You want to see Ohtani or whatever. But yeah, that's the unfortunate thing, man, because I know everybody. I think we've been talking for years about this, and the anticipation was real for a while that the Sox were building something legitimate, and that summer baseball in Chicago would be this kind of both sides of town all summer long kind of a thing. And it just, on both sides, right, just never came to fruition, to where both sides, both teams had this energy about them. It was always this up and down, and one was here and the other was there, and then it just never quite came to fruition. And that's super unfortunate, because the city deserves more than one summer, certainly, but at least one. Give everybody one. There's no city on the planet that's better in the summer than Chicago, and there's no summer sport that's better than basketball. Jeez, man, what a slip, because the Bulls aren't giving you anything anyway. I was like, no, is basketball in summer too? It does in the NBA. But anyway, then baseball. And yet, the greatest city in the world cannot find a way to get two teams to be hell, they can't even get one team most seasons across all the sports. So, like, finding two at the same time is going to be awful. But maybe
one time in our lifetime we'll get there.
Yeah. We'll see.
Evan, great stuff, buddy. I appreciate it. Do me a favor, though. Let everyone know where they can find you and your work online.
Yeah. So CubsInsider.com. Check us out there. If you prefer to, wade through the comments on Facebook, you can search Cubs Insider there. Check out our page. Twitter at Real Cubs Insider. And then my handle there is at D Evan Altman. So check it all out. Great stuff, Bubba. I appreciate it, man. Thanks for coming on. All right. Take care. All righty. Guys, that's Evan Altman from CubsInsider.com talking Cubs baseball. And yeah, you guys have a lot to look forward to. There's a lot of question marks, no doubt. However, you guys have a fun summer to look forward to. All right, especially if you do end up signing Cody Bellinger. I think that'll up the ante, and I think the excitement will be through the roof for Cub fans, knowing what he did last year. Let's not forget, he was out a month. He was out a month last year. Okay, he missed a month. If he stays healthy all season, wow. So hopefully they can come to an agreement, $20 million-ish a year. Because you're not going to want to give this dude $25 million and in 6 years, because it's not going to be more than 8. They're not giving him 8 years. You're not going to be 37 years old making $25 million and not doing what you did 6 years ago. You know what I mean? So, and it's Scott Boris's job to get his client the best, and it's the Cubs' job, and to make sure it's best for their organization. So it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out. No one's moved, but I'll tell you who's going to move at one particular point: Cody Bellinger. Okay, Cody Bellinger at one particular point is going to be like, "Hey, listen, I got to do something." And we wanted 200 plus, but dude, that 170 is looking really good right about now. 175 is looking really good right about now.
All right, I got a wife, I got kids. They need to know where where they're going. We'll see. Let's take a quick break and then let's wrap this bad boy up with a nice little bow. All right, so don't go anywhere, folks. Keep it locked right here. Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago.
Off the fake. Fields against the grain. Finds Jesse James. Field. With time. Delivers down the field. Big one-way Fields stumbling. Trying to cut it back. Justin Fields making magic happen. There goes Fields. Touchdown.
911, operator 901. Where's the emergency?
127 Brynmere.
Okay, what's going on there?
I'd like to order a pizza for delivery.
Ma'am, you've reached 911. This is an emergency line.
Large with half pepperoni, half mushroom.
You know you've called 911. This is an emergency line.
Do you know how long it'll be?
Okay, ma'am, is everything okay over there? Do you have an emergency or not?
Yes.
And you're unable to talk because...
Right.
Is there someone in the room with you? Just say yes or no.
Yes.
Okay, it looks like I have an officer about a mile from your location. Are there any weapons in your house?
No.
Can you stay on the phone with me?
No. See you soon. Thank you.
Hey, it's your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra, and be sure to follow Sports Zone Chicago on all social media platforms, on Facebook, Instagram, and our Roku channel. You can find us at Sports Zone Chicago, and on Twitter, we are at Sports Zone Shy. Also, be sure to download our mobile app so you can take Sports Zone Chicago with you on the
When I'm flying, I put my helmet on, my visor down, my mask up. You don't know who I am, whether I'm African American, Asian American, Hispanic, white, male or female. You just know I'm an American airman kicking your butt. I'm General C.Q. Brown Jr. Come join us.
First down, another fake. Coming with Jamison Williams, the speedster, has a block. Williams cuts up, 25, 20, still on his feet. Jamison Williams scores! Montgomery on second and goal, surging his way forward. He's in! Touchdown, Detroit. When they get there. McCaffrey, second and goal. Up and in! Touchdown, San Francisco. Now it's Gibbs. Trying to get to the edge, gets a block from the corner, makes a man miss. Gibbs, inside the 5, touchdown, Detroit! Here's Purdy, looking, firing end zone, caught! Ayuk, touchdown! Badgley gets into it, high and over, and it's loose, ball loose. Kittle's gonna pick it up, and that'll be that.
Welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. Those courtesy of Fox. Championship Sunday. It was crazy. It's good to see. Just got done with Evan Altman from CubsInsider.com talking to Cubs with you guys. A lot of potential for the Cubs this year. A lot of potential. I don't know about the division. I think you guys definitely can make a wild card run. But we'll see. We'll see what happens if and when you sign Bellinger. You know, somebody asked me earlier, and I didn't get to talk about it. Let me see where we're at. I think it was Derek. Yes, DC. What do you think about our passing game coordinator? I love it. You love it, DC. I ain't mad at you. All right. The Bears signed Thomas Brown, the new Bears passing game coordinator. And I think I said it, but I'll reiterate it again. I freaking love it. You know, the offensive staff that is being built for this team is second to none. I love what Shane Waldron has done. And I love his resume. I love what he's done with Russell. I love what he's done with Gino. And it shows that either his system works with all quarterbacks or he adjusts his system to each quarterback. Crazy idea. Crazy idea. System to fit the talent of your quarterback. Who'd have thunk it? DC, I love it for a couple of reasons. One, this guy's very innovative. This guy's had some success. And two, this guy is ready. Again, he applied for the offensive coordinator position here. For him to come back shows he believes in what it is that we're building. He wants to be around. He also realizes that Shane Waldron may leave at any particular point after a year or two, and he's interested in taking over the reins. I talked about the continuity. I talked about as him being the passing game coordinator. You're going to have the quarterback coach and Kerry Joseph working with Justin Fields. You're going to have Shane Waldron working with Justin Fields. You're going to have Thomas Brown, passing game coordinator, working with Justin Fields. You're going to have a lot of people working with Justin Fields. And when Shane Waldron leaves, because Justin Fields will be successful this season, which means Shane Waldron will probably get in interviews for a head coaching position. Well, it'll leave Justin with a guy named Thomas Brown that he's worked with this particular year. See, and again, and I'm not going to stop spewing my beliefs. Okay, I think the Bears do draft the quarterback, but I think they take him in the third round. Okay, you take a guy in the third round, and that guy plus Tyson Bagent, okay, battle it out for the number 2 quarterback and the emergency number 3. Remember, the NFL added you can have a number 3 emergency quarterback that doesn't count against your 52-man roster. All right, or 53-man roster. They add that, was it last year, because of what happened with the Niners. They lost all their quarterbacks in the NFC Championship game. Remember last year, Christian McCaffrey was the quarterback at that point. So you can have a third emergency quarterback that doesn't count against the 53-man game day roster. Have him dressed and ready to go. So we're talking consistency here. So now Tyson Bagent is going to be learning this system. Justin Fields is going to be learning the system. It's more going to be terminology than anything. So everyone's talking about, you got to learn a new system. Okay, first of all, they get paid to do it, so don't worry. But secondly, it's a West Coast offense, so it's going to be a lot of just terminology that they're using. So I love it, DC. I love it. I love it. I don't know if I mentioned it. I love it. You know, the offensive minds in this room on this side of the ball for the Bears, I'm very impressed with. I'm very satisfied with. So I just think, you know, the one we talk about, I'd love to get a kid second or third round. Okay, let him sit for a year or two, whether it is the third string or second string or whatever. Just being in a system helps. And you can do what the Patriots did. Actually, yes. Yes, thank you for... Yes. So here's the updated coaching staff under Eberflus. Shane Waldron, Kerry Joseph, Chris Morgan, Jim Drake, Chris Beatty, Chad Morton. I think I'm... Okay. So yeah, so it's their... It's interesting. So my question is, should Ryan Poles, if he's keeping Justin, which I believe he is and hope he is, should he make that trade now or does he want to make sure that Washington doesn't get too good, even though Ben Johnson and Bobby Slowick have stepped away from removing the name from consideration for the head coaching gig in Washington. But you did make a point. Was that you, Cornelius? As time gets... Well, Derek, that makes too much sense. Stop it. What I was saying earlier was what the Patriots did. Remember the Patriots? They drafted Jimmy Garoppolo. They drafted who else? Not Tyreek. It's the black quarterback. I can't think of his name. But they kept drafting quarterbacks and they develop them. They keep them in the system. And then if the starter breaks down you got a backup. But if he doesn't, now you got a quarterback who's ready to go, who's been in the system that you can trade for some assets. Jacoby Brissett. Thank you, DC. You know what I mean? So you got it. That's exactly what it is we need. Guys, listen, 2 hours has come and gone. I want to thank my guest, Evan Altman, for coming on talking Cubs baseball with us. Exciting time for Cubs fans, especially if you can get the guy, your long lost son, Cody Bellinger. What a heck of a time it is. Well, listen, I got to take a break. I got to head out. I got to go pick up the warden. It's back in the 40s here in Chicago. Enjoy it. The snow is just about 98% gone. All right. Tell your loved ones you love one. If you're here, try and hit restaurant week. It's good until Sunday. Okay. So for everyone here at Sports Zone Chicago, Elliot Abaya is our executive producer. Clarence Council, our social media guy, and my co-host at Absentia, Maya Kai. I'm your boy, the Superback, Shawn Sierra. Guys, do me a favor. Send your loved ones a quick text. Just let them know that you love them and you care about them. It'll mean the world to them. All right, we're going to replay this tonight at 6 o'clock on Wednesday. All right, and then we'll see you on Friday. Same bad time, same bad channel. So all my sports owners out there, I appreciate the love and the support. I will see you on Friday. Your boy back. I'm out.